Hello everyone, welcome to Taking Initiative. For those of you who have heard our first episode on the Once and Future Nerd, this episode may seem a bit familiar to you. However, if it is your first time here, welcome to the adventure. To set the stage for you before we begin, Josh, the DM for this game, informed his 3 players, Nick, Drew, and Bucky, that they would be running the Lost Mine of Vandelver, the adventure found in the starter kit for D&D 5e. You may have also have heard it on the Adventure Zone. The players made their characters based on this information. However, Josh had something else in store for them. Now, I hope you enjoy the first episode of Taking Initiative, Adventure 1, House of Spoops.
Okay.
I need John and Drew your passive perception and your weight because you
John,
got cut
you
off.
go first?
Passive perception's a 12.
Okay.
My weight is 140 pounds.
Oh, you weigh the same amount as a halfling?
No, I weigh 40
I don't
pounds.
lift.
Oh, 40 pounds?
Yeah.
40. He's a halfling. He's exactly 2 feet tall.
My
We have
goal
a
is to
baby.
advance to a point where the gun that I'm holding is bigger than I am.
That won't be hard.
So we have a baby that speaks with a shitty southern accent, holding a gun, trying to sleep with big women.
With a
Yeah.
cowboy hat.
With a cowboy hat.
Sounds like a plan.
Best group. 10 out
Drew,
of 10.
passive
Good group.
perception. Wait.
Passive perception is 10, and the weight is 275.
I give this group a 10 out of 10.
Should I do that one?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Killing it.
So, let's
Alright, Josh, I
get...
can only record for 8 hours. Come on.
let's get started.
Speed it up, please.
Okay.
Got a
So-
finite amount of memory.
So, in the city of Neverwinter, a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker asks you to bring a wagon load of provisions to the rough and tumble settlement of Phandalin, a couple of days' travel southeast of the city. Gundren was clearly excited and more than a little secretive about his reasons for the trip, saying only that he and his brothers had found something big, and that he'd pay you 10 gold pieces each for escorting his supplies safely to Barthen's Provisions, a trading post in Phandalin. He then set out ahead of you on horse, along with a warrior escort named Sildar Hallwinter, claiming he needed to arrive early to take care of business. He looked at you kind of weird, Kent, because of, he had different reasons for sending you out on this adventure. You couldn't keep it in your pants about his daughter. You've spent the last few days following the high road south from Neverwinter, and you've just recently veered east along the Tri-Board Trail.
What if I wanted to travel the low road south?
Well, it just happened already. It's already
Oh, okay.
happened.
Fuck.
Yeah. You've encountered, and you've gone the wrong way. You've encountered no trouble so far, but this territory can be dangerous. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk along the trail.
Sweet.
So midway through your travels, you stop and you take your rest because it's going to take a couple days to get there, kind of a thing. So at the moment, you guys are just chilling around a campfire. You got the wagon sitting behind you guys or in front of you, wherever you guys really wanted to put it. And this is, you guys can socialize a little bit, tell us about your characters, and have at it.
All right, so I want to be lounging back with a piece of grass in my teeth, thinking that that's what it's that looks cool, and spinning my gun in like a cool way. And I want to say to the group, guys, I've killed a lot of assholes with this thing.
I just want to point out, without saying anything, that the gun is about the third the size of Nick.
Is it loaded? Do I know if it's loaded?
You better believe it's loaded. I'm always prepared.
I'm going to sidle around the wagon and put it between me and him.
Do we want to give a little brief what we look like?
Yes, please.
I'm about 3.5 feet tall. My gun, like my cock, is humongous.
Like
So-
the monkey?
Yep, my cock.
Wow.
Why do you have a macaque?
I thought I was the only one with a pet.
And, what's your character's name as well?
My name is Kent Brickwood from the East Farthing Brickwoods. Come from a whiles away. And the only thing I want is to get to the end of this road so I can meet some women. It's my only goal.
Got some real priorities.
I holster my gun.
It goes approximately to your knees.
Drew, what about your character, man?
My character, for everyone's knowledge, since no one has seen him out of his plate armor, is just a massive, towering wall of steel and weaponry and anger.
doing anything particular around the fire except giving Nick a weird look, or sorry, Kent a weird look?
Just staring at Kent and sharpening the great sword that I have, making sure all my gear is stowed properly, as it should be. I'm a veteran of the trail.
Alrighty. And John, what about yours?
So my character's name is Vendalar Greymeyer. I am a half drow pendragon. I have dark blue skin and piercing green eyes. I'm about like 5'8", normal height, but you would guess from my looks I'm about like maybe 30. I'm actually 75 years old. I wear a black cloak that's like tightly tied to me with like leather straps and like a bunch of loops where I can hang like potions and things from. And the other thing I have is my pet. I have a silver dragon wormling that kind of like nestles up against and curls around my neck and shoulders. And currently I'm sitting on a fallen log, eating a piece of bread and feeding my pet Arsene as well.
Quick out of character thing. How long have we known this? How long has this group known each other? Obviously, I've traveled with both of them, but
we've gone on one mission, right?
Up to you guys. This is completely up to you of how well you want to know each other. You definitely have been on one mission before.
I've known you guys for
canon.
one mission. That's what I'm saying.
I like that idea. So yeah, I went over my name. I ignored it because you guys don't know my name. So all you know is that I'm a big silent metal monster.
And then I'm scared of him, but I don't let him know that I'm scared of him. But he kind of already knows it.
You have a tremble around your gun hand.
Also, I only let my friends call me Ven. My name is Vendalar.
I will forget that name immediately. Not character-wise, just personally.
I know I can count on you, Drew. I know it.
Cool.
Please give us a character voice real quick, Bucky. I want to know what you're going to sound like. Yeah.
You want to know what I will sound like? I will
Like
sound
that.
like this.
All right, good. I'm going to be Batman, just so everyone knows. Christopher Nolan Batman. Right to me.
So we have a weird Clint Eastwood, a Squizgar.
I'm not Squizgar. Squizgar does not sound like this.
No, you're Squizgar. You're Squizgar.
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
and Batman. Awesome.
Batman, yeah. I'm Batman.
Oh, I have also decided that my grandmother is from Barovia.
You
can't just
actually
decide that.
Yeah.
I said that in character too, so make everybody
That's
look at me.
why I like it. My grandmother is now from Barovia. That's not how that works. You don't just get to choose.
Okay. So, all right, grandmother, and your you can tell me later. I'll just remember that. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Awesome. So, throughout the night, the woods are kind of quiet. The air is kind of chill. The fire sputters as a low mist gathers around the edges of your camp. It's getting foggy. And as the night goes on, the fog just kind of creeps into the camp. You guys kind of do what you need to do, keep watch, fall asleep, wake up the next morning, and start to head out. And when you're gathering your stuff, you realize that your wagon is gone.
Great.
You have all your stuff, your personal stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but the wagon's gone. You wake up to see the fire's out, and the woods look a bit different. It's not where you were. And you see a small dirt path leading through the woods. It seems odd, could be a dream to you. You're still with each other, but it's not the same place.
I'd like to make a perception check just to see what I see in my immediate area.
Go ahead.
12.
You notice that that there's tons of trees. It's like as if you were in a forest,
Okay.
but the tree type seems a bit different. You can't seem to place the type.
Okay.
The fog is just kind of rolling in from all directions, leading a pathway away.
Is it cold?
It is very cold, but enough so that you're okay. You're not freezing.
But should it have been cold?
It was nippy. You were by Neverwinter, and
Okay,
despite the name, goddamn, it's cold. So
Yeah, the city's
You
the
know,
warm part. Everything
so-
else sucks.
So Arsene is comfortable right now, basically.
Yeah.
Is Arsene acting any differently?
she a bit perturbed, but she's doesn't really know quite what's going on at the moment. She's
Okay.
more reacting to your feeling about it, whatever that may be.
Okay.
But the path seems to just lighten away, kind of guiding you towards it.
I'd like to take a closer look at the tree to see if I can identify what type of tree it is. Like, I would have knowledge because I'm proficient. I have investigation and like history and arcana. I don't necessarily have nature proficiency.
Go right ahead.
So investigation check.
Go right ahead.
13.
You notice that they're kind of like a pine, which compared to where you were, it's not very normal to that area at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a very tall pine forest.
I turn to the group and I'm like, do you guys know anything strange around here? It seems very different.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, we did have a cart with us, right?
Is there any tracks where the cart once was?
Make an investigation check.
18.
Gone.
Just magically vanished.
Like there's no imprints where it was. Okay.
You might as well not have had a cart.
But there's a path through the woods, correct?
Yes. It's a dirt path that leads away.
Well, I'm going to point at, I already forgot your name. So, Bucky, what's your name?
Ven. Just call me Ven.
Vin, the guy that I don't call Vin. I call him Vin, whatever his full name is.
Ven Dalar.
There you go. But I don't call him that. I go, you. Points. And I point down the path.
I take a couple steps down the path and look ahead, see what I see.
You just keep on seeing the forest and the path go along.
And it's just fog in front of us?
Just fog. Well, there's fog around you. The path is not, there's no fog there. It's just behind you and to the sides.
I guess we should follow the path, right?
I guess so. It sounds like what we have to do.
All right. Anything in particular? Can I also have a marching order?
I'm gonna say the tank in front.
I'm gonna go right behind him.
You're going to put the glass cannon in the middle?
I say we put the glass cannon in the back.
All
since
right.
You have the highest range out of any of us.
All right, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll stand middle.
I could hide behind people very easily.
And I have like none of my skills. I could just breathe fire on people. That's about it.
Okay.
So off we go.
There's black pools of water that stand like dark mirrors in and around like the muddy roadway, and giant trees loom on both sides of the road. You go for 3, 4, and after about 5 hours, you start to see something in front of you. There's fog that spills out of the forest and it swallows up the road behind you, so the path just disappears. And ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog.
Buttress.
Buttresses.
Are they
Huge
flying buttresses?
iron butts, sorry.
Spoiler alert, we're all 12.
Hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. 2 headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence.
Well, I mean, if they don't have heads, that seems correct.
So there's statues or they're guards?
There's statues of armored guards.
Okay.
So they're gigantic.
Oh, okay.
I want to go look at one of the heads.
Go ahead.
I'm going to clank over there and roll perception. I'm assuming it's perception.
It would be investigation.
Pots and pans,
Okay.
man.
Investigation. Pots and pans, walking ahead. And it is a 17, sir.
Excuse me.
Okay. You see a gigantic head. It on its,
And that's it.
like, it's on its side, like from the back of the head to the nose, is taller than you.
Okay.
These are rather large statues. There's no helmet at all.
Any
it's just-
distinctive facial features or anything?
Just a human face. The one on the left looks normal. The one on the right looks basically the same, but a gigantic crack from the top of the forehead through the right eye, down through the nose to the mouth.
Okay. But nothing stands out other than the giant crack.
Nope.
Got it.
Just its big, big crack.
I mean, they should probably put on some pants.
He puts
Wait.
on pants.
Good.
The head puts on pants.
Now that he's decent.
Are those faces detailed, like enough where we would be able to determine who the statues were of, or no?
You don't recognize who they would be of. They seem to be just a very generic, standard human face.
Okay,
Whether or not they belonged to someone, like it was features that were copied off of someone you don't know, but they just seem to be guarding the gates. Think of outside of this game. Think of in Lord of the Rings when they passed the 2 gigantic statues saying, with a hand out. That kind of thing.
the gates opened?
The gates are not open.
Okay. Do we see what's on the other side of the gates?
You see the path continue.
Path continue and gates. Can I make an investigation check on the gates?
Are you walking up to the gates? Or are you looking from over here? What are you doing?
I'm gonna stand 5 feet away, so put 5 feet between me and the gates.
Okay, as you approach the gate, the gate opens.
I'm not going to lie, I was not expecting that.
I call out to him and I ask him, did those just do it on their own, or was that the wind? Oh wait, I'm taking Bucky's voice. I gotta go back. I started speaking Russian.
I
Hey,
didn't even
man.
catch it because it's so seamless.
Hey, man. I'm losing it. I asked
you're
him that
stuck.
question.
Think McConaughey.
No, I like that. Keep losing it. Like it's an obvious fake accent, even for your character.
Yeah, okay.
Your real accent is
I
Lucky's
look
real
back.
accent.
I look back at him with the most questioning look on my face, as of what happened to your voice without actually saying it. And did I feel any wind pass by?
There hasn't been wind in about 15 minutes.
Then I look at him and I say, "That was definitely not the wind. They definitely opened on their own. I do not like this. I'm just going to put that out there."
Well, I'm gonna make a brave and heroic decision and walk through the gates.
Nothing happens.
Alright, I follow right after him.
I
Okay.
look at the gates a little bit more to see if there's any like arcane thing that triggered it. Can I make an Arcana check?
You definitely can.
19.
You know that they were controlled by something because they wouldn't have opened by themselves. You do sense some type of magical thing to it, but you have no idea what could have caused it.
Okay. All right, I follow after them.
Okay. You proceed through the gate, 15, 20 feet out. You hear,
Oh, buddy.
I'm under the assumption this is a dream. This feels like a dream. I walk over to the big dude that I don't know who he is. I don't know his name. And I just go, "Can you please pinch me in the arm?"
I'm going to attempt to pinch him with my heavy gauntlet hands.
Do I feel pain?
as much as your character would feel a normal pinch.
So it's completely normal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the dream. This is weird. I do not like this. But we should keep going. We have no other choice.
So I'm just going to keep going down the path. There's no point in standing here. There's nothing around.
And Kent?
Yeah, I'll continue with him.
So there's towering trees. You notice now that what you thought was pine, apparently the trees changed slightly since you began to an evergreen. So they're more of an evergreen kind of flavor here. So there's towering trees whose tops are lost in heavy gray mist. The tree trunks are unnaturally close to one another, and the woods have the silence of a forgotten grave, yet exude the feeling of an unvoiced scream. I would like all of you to make a perception check.
Was that D20?
D20, and then add your perception modifier.
13 for me.
11.
6.
Okay. So you catch the scent of death on the air.
That's a scent I know well.
You can follow it to somewhere because you see where it's coming from, if you
I
like.
see where the smell is coming from.
Yes, it's coming
Wow.
from... Yeah.
Damn,
That's
this
a
guy's
fucking
talented.
skill.
You notice what it could
I
be.
see it in the
This
air.
guy can see smell.
Yes.
Oh, God. That's going to suck in the outhouse.
You smell it. You look around. You get like where it would be coming from. You look over, and you see something a little ruffled in the grass to your right.
I'm going to slowly approach it. And what do I see as I get closer?
The foul scent leads you to a human corpse, half buried in the underbrush about 15 feet from the road on your right. The young man appears to be a commoner. His muddy clothes are torn and raked with claw marks. Crows have been at the body, which is surrounded by the paw prints. The man has obviously been dead for several days. He holds a crumpled envelope in one hand.
I'm going to take that, and I'm going to hand it to one of these two. And while they do that, I'm going to reposition the body and begin to give last rites.
All right, as soon as I see the envelope, I immediately grab for it and open it up.
Wow,
Okay.
you are just impatient, aren't you, little...
When you grab the letter, you notice that there is a large B set into the wax seal. The parchment is worn and flimsy. You open it, and there's no words on the page. It's just blank.
Can I do a intelligence check to see maybe if I knew about any like arcana or like magical things that I knew about that this might
Roll
be?
an Arcana check.
Arcana. 13.
You know that there is magic that would hide messages on letters. You don't know what spell would really bring it out. You know about it, though. So it's possible that maybe if you knew this spell or someone else did, or you bring it to someone with a bit more arcane knowledge, that maybe they can decipher it for you. Or it could be a blank piece of paper.
Okay.
Maybe he really liked a blank piece of paper. But you know there is magic that exists that'll do this.
Okay.
Once you are giving your last rites, Drew, you hear a howl in the background.
How far away would you say it sounds? Or is it like you can't tell where it's from?
Far enough away that you aren't immediately concerned,
Okay.
But you hear it.
Okay.
It's coming from behind you, from where the gate was.
Now I got that. I finish giving my last rites, stand up, and say, "We need to move."
Is he the only one that hears it?
Nope, you all hear it.
All
I
right,
agree with him. We need to go now.
As you agree with that, you hear a second howl, and that pretty much confirms it. You should probably get booking.
Yeah, we get going.
So Pots and Pans runs through the woods like a panzer.
Okay.
I follow behind like a panther because I am soft and sneaky.
Keep up, Smallman. Stole your voice for a second.
I have the ability to transfer my voice to other people. It's quite unique.
It's
This is
the best
so
ventriloquism.
weird.
You don't need to talk to anyone. It's just your ventriloquism.
So you
amazing.
keep going. You go for another, say, 3-4 hours or so.
Fuck,
So-
we've been walking a long time.
You've been at it for about 8 hours, but about this time when it's... Would you like to rest along the way? Would you like to keep going? What do you want to do?
How often do we hear howls?
Once you start to leave, you don't hear them as much. So
Then
once
yeah,
or
we'll
twice.
rest a little bit. Or
Okay.
at least I would say. Seems
Yeah,
like
yeah, no.
Stop for a sec, take a break.
Cool. So you take a short break, 30 minutes or so. You hear a howl towards the end of it. That probably is what makes you start going again. And you progress forward. In the distance, it's not too hilly in this area, but the fog is dense around you. You can't go backwards anymore without going into it. It's basically giving you a direct path of where to go. It's railroading you in a sense. And you would think at this point, maybe this is intentional. Maybe the fact that you were pinched isn't a way to get you out of a dream. Maybe it's real. You don't really know. It seems real. And when you progress forward, you see a bit of civilization in front of you. You see a couple buildings. The buildings are a bit Victorian. You don't see any people, though. Everyone's abandoned, from what you can see at least. Or the fog is concealing them, or they're in their houses. You don't know. You just don't see anyone.
I have an out-of-question character.
Out of question character? Go ahead.
Wow!
Shut up.
Does it smell like vampire?
You sniff? You don't smell vampire.
Do I recognize anything about the town at all?
Nothing.
Do
Can
I
I-
recognize anything about the town?
Nothing.
Can I check for any signs, like noting like a language or the name of the town or anything like that like would describe anything?
Nothing. But if you all would like to make a history check, go ahead.
Got a 13 again, sir.
I got a 20.
Fuck
Okay.
you.
Oh wait, okay. Now
Oh.
okay, I just rolled a 1. Can I
Okay.
re-roll?
Yes.
Okay, I got a 13.
Okay. Nick, Drew, you don't know what this is. John, you've heard about this place
Uh-huh.
from your grandmother.
Oh,
Thought we were in there.
that's
Oh.
what I thought.
You know, you've certainly heard of this place. You've never seen it. But you look at
I've
the
heard
buildings
stories.
and you see the fog.
Is this Barovia?
It may seem that way.
From the tales I've heard my grandmother tell me of it, would I recognize this as the possible place that this could be?
It at least fits the description. Whether or not you're there or not, you don't know.
Okay,
I-
how far was the nearest house?
The nearest house is, say, 75, 80 feet in front of you.
Before he does anything, I turn and I go, I may know this place. I've heard stories of this place.
What is
Wait.
this place?
We might be in a place called Barovia.
Is this where your grandmother's from?
You told us
fuck-
that 5 seconds ago.
Well, that's right, I did tell you that.
Out loud.
I did say that out loud.
Someone was
Yes.
drunk.
Yes. My grandmother, I don't know if this is exactly the place, but this fits the description.
All right.
We should tread lightly.
Yeah, I'm gonna head for the nearest house and ignore his advice and bang on the door.
I'm gonna say,
You
wait.
can't get to the first house. The fog consumes it.
Of course it does.
motherfucker.
You can go
Life's
through the
legit.
fog if you'd like.
I say,
I'm not gonna risk that yet.
I
Where's the
Yeah.
fog lead us then? Or is it
Nick,
just in a
go
circle?
ahead, whatever
around
you
us now?
say, just in
I
case
just-
it overrides.
just want to yell out, Grandma Van! Grandma Van!
You hear nothing.
Damn it.
Although you hear no response to that,
Kent,
you do hear a child sob slightly.
Kent, just so you know, my grandmother is dead. A
And
way
I
to
just-
make it awkward.
I look over my shoulder and I'm
my
like,
apologies.
I look over the shoulder and I'm like, so
My condolences. Tip my hat.
She died like 40 years ago.
get talk.
So you hear a light children's sob
Can't do that.
about 150 feet away. You can't see where it's coming from because it seems to dip around one of the corners in the street. But the fog seems to allow you to go that way.
Great. I don't want to go that way, but I guess we don't have a choice.
Out of character comment, Josh, I'm prone to nightmares, so I'm just in case you want to steer it away to something a little lighter.
Prepare yourself for the next year.
Oh god!
It's gonna be a Scoopy thing.
Guys, this is my actual voice, just so you guys know.
Is that Kent's actual voice?
Kent's actual voice.
Oh
god,
Oh
no!
God, no wonder, man.
I am going to change the Batman voice. I cannot do that this whole forever.
Got it.
Alright, before he changes his Batman voice, I say, alright, Batman, let's go. As if Batman's a reference in everywhere.
There's always a Batman. So yeah, I'm gonna head around the corner.
Okay. Who else goes? Or
I go.
I follow behind him.
Directly in front of you, about 40, 50 feet away, are two children. One is a small boy holding a stuffed animal of sorts, sobbing to himself. The other one is a young girl, looks to be older than the boy, has her arm around the boy and just sobbing as well, more out of fear, but trying to contain it in order to help the young boy be a bit more relaxed about whatever situation's going on.
Well, OOC, I would Molotov cocktail these people right now. They're children in the middle of the street and fog. Like, no, they're evil. In character, I immediately head towards them.
I draw my bow and pull out an arrow and just keep it drawn. I don't point it at anything. I just keep it out.
I just make a perception check just to see if I notice anything weird about the children or like the area around it.
Go right ahead.
I want to do the same.
Roll perception.
I got a 17.
Well, guess what, Josh? I got a fucking 19.
I got 17 also.
Okay. You both notice the children, obviously. You notice that the small stuffed animal in the kid's hand is more like a stuffed doll. It doesn't seem to resemble an animal of sorts. Maybe as if he had a young baby doll himself, kind of a thing. So he's caring for it. You also notice that the girl looks to be around 10 years old and the boy around 7. And they seem to be standing in front of a house that's about 4 stories. It has a balcony that you can see around the 3rd floor. It seems to be a very high ceiling kind of place, so it kind of lifts itself up. It seems to stand out around the other buildings in the area a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna.
When you approach the kids, you hear the boy kind of give a little gasp, and the girl shushes the boy and turns to you and says, "There's a monster in our house." She then points to a tall brick row house that caught your eye, and it's upon a bit more of investigation after she points it out. Maybe it's been seen better days a little bit. The windows are dark. It's a gated kind of area on the ground floor. There's a rusty gate that's slightly ajar to it. The houses on either side are abandoned. Their windows and doors are boarded up.
Ven immediately regrets all of his life decisions up to this point, and then walks up to the kids and asks, "Where is your mother, little one?"
My mom is trapped in the basement with the monster.
What did the monster look like?
We don't know. Really hurts. Terrible howls. We don't know.
The boy seems to be silent, sobbing to himself. He can't muster up any words. It's all the girl who's talking.
Mm-hmm.
And even so, you can see as much as she's trying to comfort him, she is losing her mind over it.
Mm-hmm.
She is petrified.
I put my hand on her shoulder and I go, "Do not worry, little one. We will look for her."
I draw my crossbow.
Does anything happen as I touch her shoulder?
Your hand goes through it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And the girl looks up at you.
Mm-hmm.
She goes,
You'll see soon enough.
and she just apparates.
She turns into a Harry Potter wizard?
Yes, gone. She's gone, as if she wasn't there.
Does the other one disappear too?
The boy seems to be fine. He's just in his doll right now. A little upset that his sister is gone, it seems.
I walk up to him also and touch his shoulder. What happens?
Before you can, he jumps back, looks at you, laughs. Gone.
Freaking out.
You start to feel like something is creeping up on you. Make a perception check.
All of us?
All of you.
Oh,
5.
8.
20.
Oh, there we go. Someone noticed
You
it.
two don't notice, but Nick, you notice that the fog is closing in on you, but it's allowing you to fully see that the door in front of you is a very clear path out of this. The door into the house that they were referring to.
Well,
Would I know these things that just vanished in front of me? Would I possibly think that they're ghosts? Obviously, like my hands move through them, but are they any sort of entity that I would know about?
Make a...
actually,
Because you
can
don't just
I?
see
Because I
shit.
deal with undeath all the time.
Yeah, he does too.
Drew, make a... Actually, John, make
Yeah.
a not investigation, a straight
History?
intelligence roll.
Intelligence roll?
Straight intelligence. And Drew, make an intelligence roll with advantage.
As they're rolling, I
13.
tell them about the fog that I noticed, so that way they know about it as well, and that the door is the only way for us to go.
15.
15. Okay. You both notice that they were not ghosts. And John, what did you roll?
13.
You notice that they weren't necessarily ghosts, but they may have been a type of illusion.
Like possibly an unseen servant of some sort, or
You don't know what type?
An illusion type of spell. It's magic, it seems like, though.
It's some type of illusion. You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know what's causing it either. It's just they were there.
All right.
Yeah,
This is definitely a very magic-heavy area we're in.
So I let them know that the fog's closing in pretty quickly, and the door is the only path out of here.
Well, I'm going to head for the door then and try the knob.
I would like to take an arrow and knock it in my bow and shoot it towards the fog. I'm going to mark one arrow off.
Go right ahead.
Great. Wonderful. No yelling on the bus.
I hold my crossbow up and I follow Mystery Man.
All right, I knock another bow and then go through the
You
door.
knock a whole bow.
A whole bow.
Wow,
Do you have a bow that shoots other bows?
I do. As a matter of fact.
With the bow.
It just flings off each other for a while.
It's the bow. You don't need to know
Oh
about it.
no. The bow.
So, Drew, I'm going to refer to you as Drew and not your character's name because you didn't give it yet.
That's fair.
All I
You see
know
the
is
door
that
in front of you.
protective.
In front of the door is a wrought iron gate that fills the archway, like between two bits of stone. You notice that the gate's unlocked, though, and its rusty hinges just... and the gate is open.
Great.
Oil lamps hang from the ceiling by chains, flanking a set of oaken doors that open to... Well, do you open it?
Yeah, that's how I try the knob.
Okay. It opens. You open it up and you see kind of like a foyer area. Hanging... Well, do you guys go inside, all of you?
Yeah, I follow right after Drew.
I poke my head in first, and then I step inside.
Is it dark in there?
It's dark, but it's lit up from the light that's coming in from the outside and through the windows.
The
Do
lamps
my
on the
magic eyes
ceiling?
see any gerblins?
Yes.
Gerblins.
No gerblins.
No
Or
gerblins.
goblins.
Not so really surprising, but I had to check that my
Or
magic eyes weren't reacting.
Goblins.
Goblins.
Gerblins.
No.
Those are
goblins.
dangerous ones.
From the moment those kids disappeared and we started moving towards the house, I make like a conscious effort to touch everything that's in my immediate path. I don't want to go out of my way to like touch things, but like if I'm close enough to like a wall or a door frame, like just to make sure that I can feel it, and not everything is gonna disappear.
Okay, you push the gate. Can you roll for tetanus?
I was about to be like, D20?
That would be a Constitution check.
Yeah, that's a medicine check with disadvantage, please. No, you're fine. You're good.
Oh no, you have luck.
No tetanus today, sir.
Oh no, you walk at the door and you have lupus. What the fuck?
How did it happen? House was wrong. House was wrong.
On the south wall of the foyer is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms. It's a stylized golden windmill on a red field. It's flanked by framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats.
Great.
There's mahogany-framed double doors leading from the foyer to the main hall, and they're set with panes of stained glass.
Do I recognize any of the aristocrats?
Make a investigation check.
18.
Quick Trump thing. As soon as everyone's in, I'm going to shut the door and Can I lock it?
You can lock it, and once you lock it and look up slightly, you notice that between this kind of cracks in the door, that the fog is now pushed up against the door.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna shut it and lock it.
It's super locked.
Cool.
So, do you guys continue forward? Do you want to check anything out?
Are there any like torches on the walls or like lamps nearby?
In this room, there are no torches. There's no lamps. And when you proceed, if you look in, it does get dark.
Okay.
Hey, I actually have a thing. Hold on. I'm going to sling my pack off and dig through it for a second. Doesn't take me long because everything's organized properly. Pull out a candle, light it, and then give it to the halfling. Now, this is a ceremonial candle, so it's like this tall and like that big around. But
Is there a picture of Jesus on it?
no, but there's a picture of Kelmbor.
I was going to say Barack Obama.
You are way off.
I ask him, what is this? What is this?
So now we know two things.
lose
He's
it.
large and he has OCD.
Yeah.
I
Great.
say, what do you want me to do? Wait, hold on. What do you want me to do with this, partner?
Light.
Okay.
I
I hold up the candle and see if any of those aristocrats in the pictures are voluptuous women.
At the
Wow.
At this point, Nick is one of the characters from Final Fantasy. I can't remember, Crystal Kingdom, the one where you have to carry the crystal around.
The GameCube one?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
and he's like, "I've got it, guys. Big circle of light."
All right. Do I see any voluptuous women
There's
in the pictures? I mean.
one woman. There's one man. I don't know your taste, but she seems very disinterested in everything that's going
I'm
on.
pretty sure Nick's taste is like not short. That's pretty much
Yeah,
what he's
exactly.
going for.
I hold the
Fair.
light against the woman for a little too long. I'm just like staring at her.
Remind me not to go into the new D&D mod for the Giants. Nick's gonna want to bang everyone.
Wait,
Oh,
question.
no.
Question. Can I hold the candle with one hand or two, or do I need two hands?
Wow,
I'm small.
Nick, you will not look at the woman and start jerking it. I swear
No,
to
I'm not
fucking
saying
God.
that.
We're not sitting here for that, Nick. That's not happening.
I just
Well,
need a
you do have
minute.
a
I just need a
crossbow, Nick.
minute. Yeah, that's what I'm
Nick, you
saying.
have a
Like,
crossbow, so
can I
you need-
hold the crossbow and the candle at the same time?
That's fine. Keep in mind though that what type of crossbow do you have? A hand crossbow?
Yeah,
heavy?
a light crossbow.
A light crossbow is a two-handed weapon.
Okay,
So
then
to fire it, you would need to have both hands.
but I can hold it.
You can hold it. That's fine. You just won't be able to fire it unless you put it down. And before I put my foot in my mouth here in a very non-physical way, let me just
That's
double
good. I
check.
don't want to watch that.
I just want any women in the area to realize that I could put my foot in my mouth if I wanted to.
Is that a thing you think that turns them on?
Hey, you don't know what you got until you use it. So
It is two-handed. Yes.
That, by the way, is the
yeah, I
greatest
can solve
advice
that.
for hitting on a woman I've ever heard. You don't know what you got till you use it.
The only one-handed crossbow
Can't
is a
argue.
hand
With the
crossbow.
hand crossbow. Yeah.
okay.
So, would you guys like to do anything else? Or would you like to continue forward?
I'd
There's
like to
only one door
physically
out, right?
face palm because Nick is like looking at the woman for a little bit too long.
You don't
then
need to roll for that. You
I
successfully face
just slap him in the back of the head.
There's only one door out, right?
Going.
Nick, I was going to say to roll for perception, but let's be honest, you're not paying attention. You're not looking at that painting.
I'm totally focused on the painting.
How many doors are in the room, Josh? The one we came in and...
The one going to the main hall. It's a
Okay,
foyer.
forward.
It's
Okay, I just want to make
quick
sure there's no,
entrance.
like, offshoots of the foyer.
Do the bureaucrats all look human? By the
They're
way,
human.
they're all human. Okay.
Okay, then, yeah, I'm going to take a step into the next room.
Okay, everyone follow?
Yeah.
Cool. You don't need to worry about light right now. You have kind of a dim light going on.
I
with
have
the
dark
candle. You're fine.
Actually, I think I have dark vision now.
You're Dragonborn. You should.
I don't have dark vision, so thank you, mysterious, tall, dark, and handsome man.
I'm glad that you assume I'm handsome.
says him in a regular voice.
From what I can see down here, you're a good-looking chap.
You mean my armored knees?
Yep.
You're completely covered head to toe in metal, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm encased in metal.
Okay.
I'm a pillbug of death.
You can literally see, like, not even, like, slits in, like, the helmet or anything?
There's slits, but they're just dark because, like, they're so deep.
Okay.
You better
They're so
hope to
obsessed.
all
Hashtag
Kellenborg
deep.
like gods that you do not run to someone who knows how to heat metal.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad.
All right, let's
Let me
continue to
double
walk
check.
through. And there's a wall that runs the width of the house, with a black marble fireplace at one end
Ooh, pretty.
and a sweeping red marble staircase at the other. Mounted on the wall above the fireplace seems to be a sword of some type
Ooh.
with a windmill cameo
Actually,
worked into the
wait.
hilt.
Dragonborn apparently don't have dark vision?
Nope.
Oh. Then I'm the
Okay.
only one.
That's what we were saying with the magic eyes with our initial campaign. Like, you didn't even have that.
I totally had magic eyes. I decided later that my gerblins, I always saw them is because I was crazy.
Look, with your
I was
magic
always
eyes.
seeing gerblins. So when
I
I was
gotcha.
asking if I saw them and you said no, it's good.
Tell me more about this sword.
Well, hold on. Let me finish the rest of the description.
Okay. Also, I got a quick
Um,
question. When you walk through the door, is it much wider than the foyer, or is it just like same size, just like goes back further?
It is, when you walk through, it's about 300% bigger width-wise.
Okay, cool.
So when you walk in, immediately on your left is the fireplace. Deep to the right is the staircase. The wood-paneled walls are ornately sculpted with images of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs.
Ooh, that's hot.
There's a sword on a wall.
I like nymphs.
I was
And the decorative paneling follows the staircase as it seems to circle upward to the second floor. Also in the room, you notice there's a couple different exits, or doorways at least. There's one past the fireplace with a door right next to it on the right.
Uh-huh.
There seems to be a little alcove if you go up and to the right. And from where you walked in, there seems to be a door to the right next to you leading into a separate room.
Like on the wall that we came through?
But yeah, exactly.
I take a look at the sword.
Okay, make an investigation check.
18.
It's a long sword. There's a cameo on the hilt. There's a windmill, which is very finely crafted into it. The blade seems to be pristinely cleaned. There's a slight glint off of it. There's no rubbish kind of stuff on it. It looks to be just a very awesome-looking sword.
Can I check to see if maybe there's a magical essence to it?
With that investigation that you did, it doesn't seem to be magical. It just seems to be like a ornate sword
And where is it hanging?
above the fireplace.
I am jumping for it, but I
You
can't.
cannot reach.
I'm like,
Can I reach it?
Yeah, you can reach it if you like.
I would like to take my bow and hold the bottom of it and then reach it forward and actually, first, before I reach out, I'd like to grab the head of the halfling that's in front of me trying to jump for it, push him to the ground, and move him to the side.
Nick, do you allow this?
unfortunately.
I push him off to the side, and then I'd like to take the top of the bow and actually like tip it up to see if I can knock it off and see if anything happens.
Okay, make a make a sleight of hand check.
Wait, before he does that, when he's not looking, I point my crossbow at him, and I say, "You motherfucker," and then I put it back down.
As he does that, Arsene immediately arches her back and like hisses at him.
I put that crossbow back down real quick.
Arsene relaxes. Okay, so sleight of hand.
Yep.
8.
You go to push it up. It takes you you go to do it expertly, and you just miss. And then you do it like a second time.
Like
miss.
fry with the button.
Yeah. And then the third time you
Wait,
pick it up.
Before the third time, I say, "Should have just let me do it."
You miss the third time. You smack him. And the fourth time you pick it up and cling, 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 cling right down to the floor.
Cool.
Nothing happens.
Nothing.
Just the sword's on the floor. You litter her.
Okay, now that it's in my
Now
grasp,
it's trash.
now that it's in my grasp, I go to grab the handle of the sword.
John, do you have anything to say about that?
I take a step back and let him do it.
Okay.
I grab the handle of the sword.
You are holding a sword.
Does it look absurdly huge in his hands?
I
Yeah.
put the candle down for a second, put the crossbow down for a second, and then with both hands grab the sword and say, "I have the power."
Make a dexterity roll for me.
Dexterity modifier. It's a 5.
Wait, 5 total?
Yeah, 2. I got a 2, and then I plus 3.
When you swing it up and you say, I have the power, by the time you hit power, you are halfway back and you fall over. You guys all know that a longsword is about 3 pounds.
Yeah.
But he was just so into it. He just threw himself off his feet. And
Did he drop the blade as he fell
Yes.
back? Okay. I pick it up.
I pick him up by the scruff of the collar. Careful.
Okay, so
I grab back. I pick up the candle again, so I have the candle. I'm back to where I started.
Ven now has a longsword with
Sweet.
that hilt. So you
I
can
can't
type...
use it.
Okay. Well, you
But
can, technically.
I can, but I'm not proficient in longswords.
Yeah. So just write down longsword with windmill hilt.
Can I check the door that was to the right of the door we came in?
Sure.
Is it locked?
I will let you know in a minute.
Let me know now.
It is not locked.
Cool. I'm going to open it and look inside.
Okay. And John, go ahead.
I'm on his back.
Is the fireplace lit?
The fireplace is not lit.
Is it fucking lit? No.
It's
Wait.
lit. It's fucking had one too many tonight.
Can I light it?
You can?
I would like to use my tinderbox. Is there wood in there? Like firewood?
You have a candle that's already lit.
I want to look at the envelope again.
There's 3 really new pieces of wood in the fireplace.
Really
Like just
new
logs.
pieces of wood.
As in, someone just put them there.
I would like to do an investigation check in the fireplace to see if I see anything.
Okay.
16.
You don't notice anything in the fireplace, but what you do notice is the walls that were kind of around with the wood panels that are ornately sculpted with the vines and flowers and such.
Right.
You actually notice that there's snakes and skulls inconspicuously woven into the walls.
Oh fuck. Is the candle still by me?
That's up to whatever Nick did with the candle.
Oh no, I'm following. I'm right behind Drew because he picked me up. So I don't think I'm
would
near
like to pull out the envelope I found before with the letter and take a look at it again.
Did you light the fireplace or?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Do I see anything new?
Nope.
Nope. I go over to Nick and
Kent.
Kent.
Brickwood of the
hold on a
East
second.
Farthing Brickwoods. Get my name right.
Alright, hold on a second. I'm gonna just write it down. Kent. Fuck boy.
Get my name right or get it out your mouth.
And I look over to Kent and I go, hey, come over here for a second. I stop him right before he gets to me and I say, hold the candle still. I take the letter and I put it near the flame, but not like next to it so it catches fire. I put it like next to the heat of the flame. Anything happen?
So the letter, when you bring it closer, it starts to emanate a bit of red from the back.
Sweet.
With light hitting it. That's it.
Nothing? Great. Alright. Well, that takes care of that suspicion. Let's keep going.
Taking Initiative is a product of the Spark Network. For future updates, news, and all nerd-related stuff, visit us at thespark.network. To visit us on social media, you can find us on Twitter with the handle @TI_pod. That is again @TI_POD. You can find us on Facebook at the page Taking Initiative Podcast. And finally, to find us on Tumblr, go to takinginitiativepodcast.tumblr.com.
I'm Josh Perot, and I am the DM. You can find me on Twitter at Xyroxis the Beard. That's XIROXIS the Beard.
Jonathan Buckmaster as Vendalar Greymire at Bucky_Masters on Twitter.
Donna Fenimore as Callista.
Up. You haven't shown up yet. Wait your turn.
God damn it, Josh!
This is Drew Tillman, and I play Pots and Pans Man, and you can find me on Twitter at NotThatDrew.
This is Nicholas Figueroa, and I play Kent Brickwood of the East Farthing Brickwoods. You could find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Nico Figs. That's at NIKOFIGS.
This episode was edited by John Buckmaster and Josh Perot. All music on the show is property of Kevin MacLeod and the Incomptech website. You can find any information about the songs played in this episode in the description below. To give credit to the classes played in this episode, the Pendragon class played by John Buckmaster was created by Daresite Phantom on Reddit. The Gunslinger class played by Nick Figueroa was made by Matthew Mercer. And the Doom Guy class was made by our own Drew Tillman.
Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition and the Curse of Strahd module are property of Wizards of the Coast. Again, thank you very much for listening. To leave you with something before we come back again on March 6th, here's a montage of what to expect in the upcoming episodes. Bye, everybody.
This is just a weird question, but if
It's a weird game.
I could pop out and attack our attackers from behind.
That might possibly be one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard in my life.
Nick, you notice a terrified, skeletally thin young woman reach out towards Drew.
how's a fucking 16 feel, bish?
Don't.
You have this creature reach inside of you, and you feel nothing.
You're a fucking idiot, and I can't stand you. Who the fuck are you?
As soon as she steps out the door, I'm gonna cold cock her.
What the fuck, Drew?
I don't know who you are. There's ghosts in here.
Point to Callista.
Oh no.
I turn to the guys and I say, well, look at this, gentlemen. We're already making a connection.
Hey, Kent. We just killed a bunch of dead things down here. We can flirt later. We need to get the fuck out of here.
One must die.
No. Fuck.
Over and over. One must die.
I'm gonna just start like hysterically crying, like PTSD, like crying.
I'm officially spooked. I do not like this place. I want to leave.